Hi there. It's Monday, June the 17th, and I'm really excited because tomorrow I am leaving for London. I'm doing a book signing at the Public Speakers Conference there. I've never been, believe it or not, I've never been across the pond. It's my first trip, and I'm also going to visit Glastonbury, so I'm really excited about that. Hopefully I'll, learn some new stuff. It's always good to be around new people and new places because then you're exposed to new things. Anyway, so this week, what are we going to be looking at? And I'll just take a quick moment and say, remember these videos are for anyone who's watching them, and because that's the way the universe works energetically. So we're going to look and pull a card for what do we want to be focusing on our spiritual path this week. And it's going to be living in the now. I don't remember if I had this one before or not, but it really doesn't matter. It's whatever is going to be most helpful to us in the coming week. So let's see, living in the now. It's going to be 183, and let's see what I come up with. All right. Okay, so here we go. Most of our perceptions are based on things from the past. This means we judge what is happening on past experiences, things we have seen, read, or been told and stored. That means in our computer mind stored. When we start creating our life from the point of awareness, our perceptions become driven from our conscious mind, not blindly from our subconscious mind. It is a choice. Now, that's really kind of hard to totally understand because, science has proven that there's these different levels of awareness. And what I teach and what I believe, and it has always held true for me in my life, and most of my clients are, people that I've worked with, and anyone that I've ever asked about it says, well, yeah, that is true. Okay, but if you understand that there's our subconscious mind, which is what's below the surface that we're not even aware of, stuff that we're taking in every day and it's, in there. And then there's our conscious mind, which means what we are consciously aware of, thinking we know, we see, we understand. And then there's our collective consciousness, which is we get energetic thoughts and hits and things from the collective consciousness, which is just what mankind as a whole is generally working on, thinking, feeling, believing, sensing. But that's from a subconscious level as well. Okay, that collective consciousness. It's not because most people aren't awake individuals, right? And so then we have our God consciousness, or you can call it your super consciousness if the word God bothers you. Okay, but when you can reach that God consciousness, and you can make your decisions and your choices in life from that God consciousness, it trumps everything else. It doesn't matter what your subconscious mind is thinking or doing or, wondering about. And I want to go back to the page and I want to just read that one more time. I want to read the whole thing one more time. Most of our perceptions, I can't even talk. Most of our perceptions are based on things from the past. This means we judge what is happening based on past experiences, things we have seen, read, or been told and stored. When we start creating our life from the point of awareness, our perceptions become driven from our conscious mind, not blindly from our subconscious. It is a choice. So if you think about this, it's based on things we have seen, read, been told, stored, okay? Not everybody has seen the same things, read the same things, stored the same things. But when we're living in the now, that really doesn't matter because what we're doing is we are allowing ourselves. It's so important when you're an aware individual to understand and pay attention to what you are allowing, okay? So when we are just allowing ourselves to be in the moment and to come from that place and space of love, When you understand and can feel self-love for yourself, which is probably one of the hardest loves we'll ever have to deal with, believe it or not. But when we are coming from that place and space of self-love, and we allow ourselves to just stay in the now and allow what is, we can do that because we understand that that's a part of us. Everything is a part of us, okay? And our mind wants to wander and, overthink things and figure things out and understand things. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? It's, for me though, that's entertainment value, right? So if you want to think about things and understand things and learn new things, by all means, that's perfectly okay. But what you don't want to do is miss the joy and the peace and the love within the moment that you are, because you're focusing on what next, what was or what next, okay? What was is over and done. You can't change it, right? You can change your perception of it, but there's no need to go back there. It was an experience, and you can take from that experience what you choose to take from that experience. And what next, what next, what next, you have no clue. And one of the biggest things, I was very, very blessed when the first time I had a psychic reading, the guy said to me, he said, "Have you ever had a psychic reading before?" And I said, "No." And he said, "Well, I need to explain something to you." He said, "What I'm going to share with you, what the cards are going to tell you, is what is possible in this moment. But what is possible can change, because you might do something different, or anyone else involved might do something different, which will totally change the trajectory. And that may totally change the outcome." So even if we think that we know what's coming, we really don't. We don't. But the amazing thing is when we stop struggling and we stop trying to figure it all out and make it happen, then that's when things work out beautifully. The universe has way more knowledge of what is best for you, what is best for everyone else, and can, put it all together to where it works out the way it is supposed to for everyone. So I wanted to say though, now that doesn't mean, because people go, "Oh, Sharon, I know I need to set goals, and that's how I achieve things, is I have my eye on the ball, and, I have intentions of what I want." There's nothing wrong with that. But the way that you bring that back into, I'm going to say the way it's meant to serve you, is to not be attached in the outcome. And what I mean by that is not saying it has to look this way. The most amazing thing for me in my life, or things for me in my life, had been when I just did things because I knew I was led to do them and I would have fun doing them, and I didn't really worry about what the outcome was going to be. When I try to make it happen, that's when I take myself out of the flow. And, everybody talks about the flow. Well, all that means is like being in the now, living in the now, right? When you're in the flow, you're living in the now, because you understand and recognize everything in the past was to serve you. Guess what? Everything that's going to come is going to be to serve you, whether you know it or not. Now, if you really struggle with understanding who you are on a soul level and how that can help you in your everyday life and in your living in the now, then please get in touch with me via my website, SharonHess.com. I would love to help you with that. It's one of my favorite things, is helping people look and see what it is that they're dealing with right now, because we're all energetic beings. And what I do when I do a soul history, I actually look at, I say, show me the story that's affecting them energetically in the now, because that's all we're living is the now, right? So if you're interested in that, and if you need help in any way in your life, please go to my website, SharonHess.com. If you like this video, or you like my videos in general, please subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends, right? And that is it for this week. Go out and practice living in the now. It's not always easy, but I promise you, you can do it. Maybe just try it for one day, try it for a 24-hour period and see what shows up for you. And when you start pulling yourself out of the now into, judging the past, okay, judgment is always from the past, or worrying about the future, just pull yourself back in. Take a deep breath and say, I live in the now. I'm going to enjoy the now. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to love the world in the now. Okay, so now go out and have a fabulous life just because you can.